'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back, glad to see you looking fresh, and welcome to October. This month I have a couple of spookier videos planned for you, and to kick us off this spookier month, I want to talk about the death and murder of one Sonic the Hedgehog, a game that came out this year, a officially licensed and published game by Sega, in which Sonic the Hedgehog dies. And we have to solve the murder case. Now, this basically is Murder on the Orient Express. And not exactly, if you've seen the movie or heard of the story or read the book, this isn't exactly like the Hercule Poirot mystery, but it is set on a train, which is the perfect setting for a murder mystery, in my opinion. It takes place on Amy's birthday, which her birthday party is a murder mystery party, which always seems to go awry in media, where a murder mystery party is the perfect time to actually commit a murder, because people won't suspect anything for a minute there, because lo and behold, that's why we're here anyway. Let's actually take the plot of Glass Onion, take the plot of Murder on the Orient Express, mash them together, bada bing, bada boom, here we are. That's the kind of story we're dealing with here. So basically take the plot of the two modern, even though Murder on the Orient Express isn't that modern, murder mystery stories that we're actually still getting, and then crush them together, and that's what we're getting. It stars the Sonic cast, and most of the main players are here. Sonic, obviously, Amy and Tails, again, pretty obviously, Knuckles, Shadow, but then also we have Blaze and Rogue, and even Victor and SBO. And because it's like a murder mystery party, everyone's in costume, everyone has their own roles to play. Like my guy Knuckles is dressed up as a sheriff because for some reason there's a Western saloon as one of the train cars, so he is the sheriff of the saloon. And everyone's dressed up, everyone's playing their part, everyone's getting along. It's nice to see Shadow included in the friend group. He's not a bad guy, he's just a dude that hangs out with the rest of them. Of course, he has to have that little edgy flair to him. A lot of Sonic characters are included, and then you have your insert character. The self-insert thing, I can do or take without. I think it'd be okay if I was just playing as Tails, or maybe somebody else. Another character from the Sonic universe could have been the player character. You could have had like Tails as Sherlock and then the other character as the Watson. I think that would have been fun. I don't think you have to have a self-insert character here, but it is what it is. Like, it's not a bad thing, it's not a great thing, it's just a thing. Who is new to working on this train, and you, along with Tails and Amy, mostly Tails, need to solve the case. So Sonic is found dead in the dining car, and you have to go from car to car, interrogating the members of the Sonic friend group, and piece by piece figure out who the murderer is. And I tell you what, it's not who you expect. And there are some twists and some turns in this game that I didn't see coming. And the main gameplay is a visual novel. We all could have probably guessed by the type of game this is, but there's also a sort of platformer game where you collect rings, and that's where the meat of the actual gameplay comes in. This is where the skill part of this game comes in, and you can fail this and you can just endlessly replay it and retry it, but you have to eventually get enough rings at the end of the course to continue on with your interrogation. And as this game continues on, this game of course gets harder and harder as you go. In terms of gameplay, that's basically it. The story-wise, it's fun seeing these characters just kind of hang out and chat. Obviously, serious some circumstances why we're doing this, but the Sonic family has always been more interesting than I think the games kind of let them be. Obviously, everyone loves Sonic, and Tails, Knuckles, and Amy have their fan groups as well. I'm a big Knuckles guy. Shadow, of course, is a big fan favorite, but I've always had a soft spot for Rogue and Victor, even SBO a little bit, and Blaze not as much. But, they've been around for a while, and I like having the large group around. I like Sonic Generations for that reason, is they show up and you get to hang out with those characters for a little bit. The Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games do that really well as well. So it's nice to just be able to chat with these characters. It's nice. Even though there's no voice acting, unfortunately, the game still has a nice atmosphere. It's nice to be with these characters, like I said. I guess mine are spoilers from here to the end of the video if you want to know the rest of it. If not, skip to the time code here. Okay, you ready? Sonic isn't actually dead. So when you get to the end and you have to choose who did it, you're presented with a screen of all the characters. And you get to pick and choose. Like, you and Tails work together and you solved every mystery up to this point. You've collected every clue. You've gone through every train car. You've interrogated every person. You know who it can't be, and you know who it could be. So you're presented with this screen, and you yourself get to choose who did it. And of course, then is revealed, he was put to sleep by the quote-unquote killer who's SBO. At least, I don't think there's multiple pathways. Mine was SBO. It was a red herring that Shadow was the one that did it, because of course it would have been Shadow that did it. There are, like, hints and bobs that it's other characters. Victor is kind of a question mark, and then Rogue, because she's a thief, it's like, well, she might have done it too. But as a whole, SBO, once I got to him and saw his alibi and stuff, I'm pretty sure it's going to be him. But that part of it is pretty much a gimme. Like, the game doesn't let you choose the wrong person. That being said, the game's final twist is that Sonic was actually hurt badly. He could have been in serious trouble because while SBO put him to sleep, for the quote-unquote murder part of the murder mystery game, the train itself attacked Sonic because the train is, of course, run and operated by Dr. Robotnik, Eggman. Even though there's a conductor and it's the last day before retirement, and in another story, a non-Sonic story, I'm sure he would have been axed off and it would have been a sad thing. It's like the whole classic last day before retirement thing. And I kind of expected that, even still. But no, he has a happy ending, and of course we defeat Dr. Eggman, and we're good to go. So, yeah, Sonic's not actually dead. Sonic has died before in games where he lost all his rings and fell apart. But in this game, yeah, he's lying there limp for a long part of it. But he's not. He's fine. Sonic's fine. You give him a chili dog, he'll bounce back. So that's basically it. That's the story of the day Sonic died. And this game is free if you want to play it. If you skip past the spoilers and you want to hear about it yourself, by all means, go ahead and give it a try. See who the killer is. Figure it out for yourself. It is fun to explore this world, even though, I'm not a big visual novel guy. The art's nice. Like I said, seeing the characters is nice. It's quick. It's like 2.5 hours maybe. So all the gameplay here is spoiler free. It's only from 2 of the carts, but nothing that shows who the killer is. Nothing that shows who did it. And just going through the carts is pretty non-spoilery, except for where people are. But that's you'll discover more, and there's more to be seen in this game that I didn't show you. That'll about do it for me. What is the best Sonic game in your opinion? Mine is right behind me. And other than that, Colors probably is the other, Sonic game that I really like. But yeah, that'll about do it for me. Thank you so very much for watching. And as always, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.